Mm-hmm. Page 506.
Yes.
The X filled this out.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Clallam County Sheriff's Office.
Yep.
City Police Department where respondent lives and shall personally serve the respondent a copy of the order and promptly complete and return to this court proof of service.
Yeah.
Mm. Now, obviously, the petitioner cannot serve me.
Yes.
She wasn't there. Mm-hmm. Did she get a copy of it? Yeah, she did get a copy. Mm-hmm. Did you serve her after you issued it? Mm-hmm. Did Judge Brent Basin think that I had weapons when I didn't? Well, I just wanted to make sure because when I look at this pen com,
Yes.
it was the X that filled this out, or was it the slash?
Yes.
hmm And the X filled out the Clallam
Yes.
County Sheriff's Office,
Right.
but the slash filled out the Clallam County Sheriff's Office.
Right.
So the slash decided to issue the weapon surrender form
Yes.
when the X decided that it was the Clallam County Sheriff's that was going to serve me.
Yes.
But when the petitioner didn't sign it, how did you know where I lived?
Ouch.
Did did you put the sheriff's office for every one of these? It wasn't the city police department where the respondent lives.
Yeah.
Hmm. As I remember it, I was living in Port Angeles, Washington. Uh-huh. Why'd you serve me in Sequim, Washington? Well, I was staying at the homeless shelter.
Yeah.
Did the ex didn't know where I was living at, or you just well, it's fraud. See, it says here
Yeah.
the WACIC
Yeah.
data entry. Could you get me all the protection orders and the dissolutions of marriage that have been entered into the WACIC?
Yeah.
And then there's the NCIC, Federal Bureau of Investigation.
Yeah.
Could you get me all the protection orders and the dissolutions of marriage that have been issued that have restraint provisions?
Yes.
And then when you get all of those,
Yes.
I'd like to go through and find out how many individuals
Yes.
have been arrested
Mm-hmm.
for the accusation of violating protection orders,
Yes.
harassment orders, no contact orders,
Yes.
and then those that have been arrested and been charged with 2 counts
Yes.
of the conviction.
Mm-hmm.
See, it says here 2 previous convictions for violating a protection order issued in Title 7, 10, 26, and 74.
Yes.
Now, for the Federal Bureau of Investigation to have any knowledge of the fraud
Mm-hmm.
of the false accusation of violating a protection order one time
Mm-hmm.
on one day, ouch, the thought of police and sheriff's departments not being arrested by the Federal Bureau of Investigation.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Mr. Mueller,
Yes.
you've been thinking of different locations for your prison. Oh, oh, oh. You didn't like the swamp. No. You didn't like a ship on the ocean.
Mm-mm.
You didn't like the idea of it being in the desert.
No.
Is there some other place that you'd like to have your prison?
Mm-hmm.
See, there's this idea that the Federal Bureau of Investigation has an obligation to arrest any and all officers
Yes.
that fabricate 2 counts or 2 charges
Mm-hmm.
of the restraint provisions of 1 protection order
Yes.
to get 2 convictions so as to arrest individuals for felonies instead of gross misdemeanors. Now, why don't you think of another location that you'd like to go to prison, Mr. Mueller?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know you think I'm vain,
Pow!
Mr. Mueller. I know you think I'm vain. But since I can go through the information center of each and every state of the United States,
Yes.
it's not that difficult for me to take a computer,
Yes.
look over the last 30 years.
Yes, it is.
I can go through the NCIC that requires
Mm-hmm.
the information on any and all protection orders and dissolutions of marriage that have no contact provisions.
Yes.
And then I can cross-reference that with every arrest right now. Pooch. And if I find out that an individual was convicted of 2 counts
Yes.
of the 2 charges
Yes.
of the same crime of violating the restraint provisions on the same day,
Yes.
I'm going to sue the Federal Bureau. How much money did you have?
Ha!